What's up, Diablo fans? This is just too good to not talk about here on my gaming channel. I know that my gaming channel is much smaller than my main channel, but I wanted to bring something over here to us today because this is great news finally. This is all I've ever wanted, is to finally hear about when this game is coming out. But here's the thing. Here are my thoughts about this situation. Let's just talk about the news right up front right now, and then we'll go dive back in some of the history of everything and what I think everything means. Here's the thing. Diablo Immortal has announced that they are coming to PC. That is crazy. I was hoping this game would come out because here's the reason. I'm not a big mobile game player, and I wouldn't be. However, sometimes there's about 5 to 10 minutes where I'd like to go relax on the couch upstairs, or I'm at work taking a break, or I'm at work on YouTube, whatever it is, or I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and I'm like, you know what, I wish I could take Diablo with me. I wish I could take Diablo 3 with me, and play it, and then have my progress save and go back to the PC. Just once in a while when I need to get up from my gaming chair. And that's why I was excited for Diablo Immortal. I figured it was something I would play on the side, but I wouldn't be able to last long playing it because I just can't play phone games for long before I start getting irritated with my hands and my back and everything, and I just don't like them really. But I knew that I was going to probably use BlueStacks or some kind of emulation or some kind of something to mirror the game off the phone to try to play it on PC here or there. And it was going to be annoying and a little bit frustrating, but it would be doable and it would happen. But now, with this announcement, this has blown away my expectations. I have been angry with Diablo Immortal over the last few years, basically because I wanted to play it, and they kept talking about it, and it was annoying. I found it annoying to talk about a game like Diablo Immortal for the last 4 years and not get to play it. That's my biggest complaint. Obviously when they first announced it, I was mad like everybody else. But Wyatt Chang is amazing, a person, great guy, and I got to give it up to these guys for keeping this secret this long is amazing. They have had to deal with ridicule of people like me who have said, oh my God, the game's never going to come out. Shut up about telling us about it because who cares? It's never coming out. And I've been a very negative, toxic type of person on Twitter with that, which I fully admit because I'm passionate and annoyed. I'm legitimately was annoyed. But, you know what I mean? The wait is worth it in all realism. Man, they cannot be praised enough, this team who has spent years and years working and trying to fine-tune, perfect, and change the course of this game that is kind of like Diablo 3.2, which I say that in a good way. Some people have said that that's sort of a negative. Well, this is a prequel to Diablo 3, first of all, story-wise, but it's coming on June 2nd there, as you saw in the graphic, which is amazing. So we only have another month to go, and then Diablo Immortal hits. So, you'll be done with Season 26 by then, probably, unless I'm starting my hardcore venture on there. And now we'll be able to play this on mobile and PC. And ladders start next week, I believe, for Diablo 2. Are we living in Diablo heaven? We're living in Diablo hell a few years ago, and you would think the hell would be the good thing. But no, and I'm going to say heaven. We're living in Diablo heaven, for God's sake. But maybe it's hell. Maybe it's supposed to be hell. We are living in a Diablo, like a Diablo player's dream right now. You can play Diablo Classic. You can play Diablo Resurrected, too. You can play Diablo Immortal soon on PC and on phone. You can play Diablo 3. You can play the seasons. Or, you can keep getting updated on news about Diablo 4. This is an incredible time to be a Diablo fan. The most insane time we've ever had, ever. Will there ever be a time like this in a gaming franchise? I just don't even remember. I know World of Warcraft is starting to do a little bit of a balancing act of classics and all these things coming out. So, but man, Blizzard is nailing it as far as this stuff goes at this point. Ever since they made that mistake with do you guys even have phones? Ever since they made that mistake, they have done seemingly nothing but try to correct it. And I'll tell you what, they've hit on probably almost everything after that. So it takes a mistake to realize, maybe to realize something, what the possibilities are, and the possibilities are pretty friggin' awesome right now at this point. I am fired up about this as a Diablo player. I don't play much anymore. I just don't have time, whatever. I played still play Halo. I still play the new NHLs and sports games. I play the new Halos, all the Halos. I still play PUBG, which was a newer game when I started playing it in 2018, and I still play Diablo, and that's really almost about it. So I'm very set in my ways that this is the game. This is a game I'll play, and I am very excited. What do you guys think? That's about really all I wanted to say. Is we have a month left now until Immortal comes out. I'm sure it won't look the greatest. I would think on PC, like the best ever. I would assume that it would feel a little bit wonky, maybe. Like they said it doesn't, but that could just be what they say. But even if the game was a bit wonky on PC, that's okay because I understand it's made for mobile. But they're saying that it isn't, that it's beautiful. But here's the thing: it's a game it's a prequel to Diablo 3, but it's kind of like Diablo 3. But everybody that played it has said similar things, that it's basically what Diablo 3 should have been, And so there's more to do in it. There's more activities. And it's a more complete Diablo 3. And if that's the case, we're going to have a great time. I am a little concerned about pay to win. I hope that it's not quite pay to win. I hope it's pay to help. If it's pay to help a little bit and pay to, have cosmetics, paying to have cosmetics, options, and to slightly advance, isn't that big a deal to me. But if it's pay to win, obviously that kills it. So I'm sure Blizzard's aware of that, and they're trying to keep it to, pay to, what would be cool, too, is if there was a pay-to-win sort of arena in a way that, like, there were certain arenas or dungeons you could enter that get you. You know how the cosmic wings are in Diablo 3, and there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting them when you find a rainbow goblin? Would be cool is if you could unlock magical properties with money, to make probability go up slightly on some of those things while you're farming, like farming probability, I could see that. I could also see that every week Diablo Immortal puts in the game random rare things. Like, for instance, there's a 1 in 500 chance that you can find the 5 mystery items that are available that week. There's a 1 in 500 chance. And every week they put different stuff in the game that's rare, or every month or something, it's rare. You can only get it for that month, and it's never going to come out again. So you want to be looking for that stuff. And I would think it would be cool if, in order to unlock that every month, you were to pay a few dollars. Or, if you paid a few dollars, your probabilities would go up. That would be something that I would pay for, and that doesn't necessarily make the game pay to win then. It's pay to have rare cosmetics that you can put on your character or things that you're searching for. And maybe that doesn't work. I don't know. And that doesn't cross over to, like, the casual fans everywhere. But, sorry, my mother texted me. And the fact that you can put this down on your PC and then play it on your phone is awesome. So I just hope that, I think Pez Radar did a good job with Wyatt. Wyatt and Pez had a really nice little, setup interview thing where they tried to set up and preview the game for everybody, probably on their own, maybe on their own they filmed it, or they had a director over at Blizzard set it up. But either way, they probably had a director and a producer, and then they edited this little sit down that they did, and I thought it was really great. So I think it's one of the first times that we've seen Pez, who's the new community manager, have to really speak like that. I am used to the old community manager. She used to post like a lot of videos and a lot of things all the time. Or maybe Pez has been doing that and I just haven't seen them. Plus the pandemic, and there really hasn't been anything to say. So, but he's been great on Twitter. Pez has been amazing on Twitter. He's been wonderful popping into people's streams. He's been very nice. I think Pez Raider has been. He's even been really nice to me, and I'm a fairly, like, I'm a fairly what would you say shock type of person on Twitter. I'm a rough person on Twitter. You know, I'm a crass person, and you know the guy's been very nice. He hasn't blocked me or anything like that, so that's amazing right there. I think the guy's a great person. It seems like. And Wyatt Chang, people would already know that I love the hell out of that guy. That guy, you know, we've known him for years. Involved in one of the worst situations ever with the unveiling of a Diablo Immortal. Do you guys even have phones? I love that they made fun of that. You know, he was like, you don't even need a phone to play. You know, they made a little joke on the panel thing they did. Like, yeah, it's coming to PC, and so you won't even need a phone. You know, I thought that was funny. This has been a great announcement in my opinion. The only thing that I'm down about is that I never was able to play the game. I registered for it 4 years ago. It's hard to believe that I registered for this game 4 years ago, and I've never played a minute of it. And that's been my only irritation, you know, with Diablo Immortal. It hasn't been anything else. I'm even fine with a phone game. You know, I mean, obviously, if there was no Diablo 4, I'd be upset. And obviously, I still think the BlizzCon announcement was botched originally. But they have done nothing but do good things since then. And you really got to give it to them. But I'm excited for this. And I keep babbling on because I'm excited about it. How is it going to play? I'm probably what I'm going to do now is spend some time watching the people that did get access to the game play it and try to remember and get their feelings on it and their thoughts on it. So I can start getting a little hype for it while I continue my Season 26 of Diablo 3. And Season 26 of Diablo 3 is definitely a conversation to be had in and of itself, with the drop rates of these tokens to going to Echoing Nightmares being, I think, a little too low. And really they're not being anything but that this season. I think that the tokens and the new gameplay of Echoing Nightmare is going to be something that stays in the game. And I think Diablo 3 did a good thing because last season they realized how much fun people had augmenting gear quickly with those gems, with the weird gemstones or whatever. I don't even remember what they're called anymore. But the bottom line is, this allows you now to go into the Echoing Nightmare situation and try to augment gems a little bit faster than you normally would, while still having to kind of augment gems the way you would, because this isn't fast enough because the tokens don't drop quite fast enough, in my opinion. But that's okay then, because it does just give you kind of a little extra boost of getting the season done quicker or powering up a little bit quicker, slightly. So if you added this with another seasonal theme, once this maybe becomes the real game or becomes part of the permanent game, then this will be very worth it. You know, it's almost like the follower season. The follower season was fun for like a week, and then it was like, well, wait a minute, this is it. And it's funner to play without your friends, and this is it. Uh-oh. So that season was kind of rough, but they added a new gameplay element, and so that's why. And so this, to me, is another, obviously, endgame and gameplay element, so I believe this will stay. And I do believe this season has more longevity than the follower season because of the Echoing Nightmare situation and how rare they did make the tokens, or the screams, whatever they call them. So not too bad of a season, really. I've been having fun, and, you know, I think that when I hit a wall and start getting bored, that in a couple of weeks after that, I will probably roll a hardcore character and have a good time with it on hardcore for a little while. Leading into May, the end of May or the beginning of June when Diablo Immortal comes out. And I haven't made a decision if I want to play Diablo 2 ladders yet, because I may have no time in my life to do that. But I wish I could, and I really want to, but I'm not sure I'll have enough time to do it, which, you know, is crazy to think. But I'm also getting, you know, I can't believe I'm Diablo 2'd out. And, again, I'm busy in my life right now. But who would have thought that I would end up playing more Diablo 3 hours than Diablo 2? I just find it crazy. From the moment Diablo 3 came out and everybody was like, this is the new Diablo? What is this? You know, and it wasn't done quite right, but it's crazy to think that we're still playing this Diablo 3 game that started off kind of wrong and then got more interesting and better as the years went on. And they're still to this day adding content to Diablo 3. It blows my mind. Like, this game was called dead by people in 2013, the year after it came out. In 2014 and 15, it surely was called dead. It was deadzo. And they have revived Diablo 3 in a way that it's unreal. Like, I don't know if there's a game. Is there a game in the history of anything that released and was built up like Diablo 3 has been to the point where it's at right now, where it's a completed game? And while it's still missing lots of things and could have been something else, I don't know. It's just never been done, I don't believe. Never seen a game break records on release, not seemingly work out, and then, 7 years later is a completely different game and is on a roll. And then after that is added content to it. Which, who knows how much added content we would have gotten if it wasn't for Diablo Immortal failing at BlizzCon. I mean, Diablo Immortal at BlizzCon, it felt like, well, they'll never do anything for Diablo 3 again. I mean, this is really... And because of Diablo Immortal, it felt like they put more into Diablo 3. Like, and so it's weird how that works. So this is an amazing thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me just kind of gushing and rambling. I don't know who will enjoy this video now of me just being a loser, but I hope you hit the like button. I hope you sub. Evil Spectrum 3 here. My alternate YouTube channel, believe it or not, 80 million views on YouTube, but not on this channel. So I hope you guys subscribe this one and support it. And leave your comments below. I'd love to hear them. And thank you to Wyatt, to Blizzard, whoever worked on this, all these years now, keeping it sort of secretive. Wyatt and Pez Radar, great debut there. I will see you guys later. Are you excited for Diablo Immortal? Let me know in the comments down below. This June, a game that you thought would not come out ever releases. Built for mobile. And announcing for the first time crossplay on PC. That's right, you can now take a shit while playing Diablo. It's me, Decade Kane. I just got done looking at pictures of me and Leah in the bathroom of my apartment. I broke my cow stick. I'm not dead anymore. Diablo Immortal. All right, see you guys later.